Hello, hello, hello. Hi, my loves. Welcome back. I got some requests to do a Q&A video, which I thought was very fun. I am, a newer channel, just a couple of videos out there, but I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of getting to know you stuff, and a few of you were kind enough to volunteer some questions. It is currently very early in the morning here, so there is also, we're getting I believe the remnants of a hurricane rolling in, but for now there is some background rain sounds. The windows are open, so I'm hoping you can catch a little bit of the rain, and you might also hear there some cars in the distance and some birds calling as the wildlife wakes up, because I live out in the middle of the woods. So there'll be a little background sounds. This will be mostly soft-spoken, probably some mouth sounds included, because, my mouth makes those sounds. Perhaps some occasional sips of tea. I have a cup of warm oolong, peach oolong tea with me that I'm very excited to keep sipping on. But if that sounds like something you'll enjoy, I hope you keep watching, keep listening, get cozy and enjoy. First, I want to say thanks to the people who volunteered some questions. So thank you to Taylor CX3VB, to New Year New You 23, and to It's 22 Now for providing some questions for the Q&A today. So I'll just work my way through. This will be a simple, chatty kind of video, so sit back and enjoy. I shuffled these up a little bit, so I don't really know what order things are coming in. But first, we have, do you have any pets? And yes, I do. I've had many pets over the years. I've had a lot of different kinds of pets. I love animals. I love animals. I've had lots of hamsters and fish and lizards and frogs and all sorts of different animals. I had cats for most of my life growing up, but right now, I have a dog. His name is Rowan. He's my family dog, so we all take care of him. We'll share in the responsibilities. So he's the family dog, but really my mom is his favorite. So, the family is going on vacation soon, and I'm staying here and taking care of the dog while everyone else is away, and he's going to be terribly sad when his favorite person, my mom, is gone. But we'll have a nice week together with the two of us hanging out, getting cozy, going on some nice walks. So so I have Rowan the dog, and we also have a fish tank in the house. I'm hoping to get a betta fish soon, though. I've been researching some really fun setups. I've always wanted to try aquascaping, so test things out with a little planted terrarium I think would be really fun. And I've had bettas, or bettas if you prefer. I've had a couple before when I was younger, but I miss that. They're a fish with a lot of personality, so I'd like to get another one, and now that I can do my research a little bit more, hopefully give a better setup and really take care of it the right way. Not that my other ones were poorly taken care of, but I think I could do better. I could step it up. I could make an even nicer setup for my fish. And I think that's a nice thing to keep by your desk too. I end up at my desk a lot for work and for entertainment, everything. I think it would be nice to have a little fishy friend there. Next, what countries would you like to visit? There are a lot. Honestly, I'd be happy to go and visit pretty much anywhere. There's a lot of the world I think I could enjoy seeing. Right now, kind of at the top of my list, I've been hoping to go to Portugal for years. It's someplace I really like the vibes there. I feel like I could even enjoy moving there, but I would probably want to go on vacation before I made a decision that big. But part of my family speaks Brazilian Portuguese, and I never got fluent, but I grew up hearing a lot of it, and so that would make learning European Portuguese a little easier. So in terms of a non-English speaking place for me to go, it would be more accessible. And there's a lot that I like about the place. I think it's beautiful to look at. The coastline is lovely. The architecture of the cities, I think, is beautiful. The people have seemed lovely from everything I've researched, and so I think I'd really enjoy visiting. I would also love to get to Scandinavia, to go somewhere like Sweden or Norway or something like that. I love the cold. I love, love, love the cold. I don't like the heat at all, and I've always wanted to go to colder places, and some of the cities there are beautiful. I like cold weather. I like big cozy sweaters. I like places where it's dark for a lot of the year, so I think I could do well in Scandinavia, and I'd like to visit there as well. What are your favorite books to read? That is a good question. It's the classic story of I was a really big reader when I was a little kid, and then school kind of burned me out on reading for a while. I was reading so much for academics that I kind of stopped reading for pleasure too much. And it's something that I've been getting back into now. Now that I'm removed from school a little bit, I've been able to get back into reading for fun, and that's been really nice. I've been enjoying that a lot. I tend to like a lot of fantasy. I like a little sci-fi. I love mysteries. Anything that keeps me turning the pages. And I like a little romance as a treat too sometimes. I feel like that's like the comfort food of books in my mind. But I have always loved Agatha Christie. I love a classic mystery. Those were some of the first mystery books I read when I was younger. I think the first one I picked up, weirdly enough, was the ABC Murders. I think I was in 6th grade. And my teacher recommended it to me. It was in her classroom. It's funny because for anyone who's read Agatha Christie, it is one of the, I would say, much darker stories. There are a lot, like of the Miss Marple stories and stuff, that, have serious moments, but I consider a lot lighter. And the ABC Murders was an intense one to start on, but it got me hooked. And I've loved those ever since. I really enjoy Terry Pratchett and the Discworld novels, that kind of fantasy world that has a lot of, I find the characters really relatable from a real world context. Like, they are in a fantasy world, but not everybody is a grand hero. Everybody has real kind of relatable personality that it feels like somebody you could know. It gets a little silly, it gets a little goofy. I enjoy those a lot. Similarly, branching into the same vein, but in sci-fi, Douglas Adams kind of stuff is great. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a classic, but my favorites, when I was younger and still to this day, were the Dirk Gently series. Dirk Gently's it's a tongue twister. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, and its sequel, The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul. That was one that was like a book on tape that I found when I was younger. I think I found it secondhand somewhere, and I played it every single night when I was falling asleep for months and months and months and months. I had it practically memorized after a long time. I still have a soft spot for it. Another favorite was Howl's Moving Castle. That's still one of my favorites. I just got a beautiful box set of the Diana Wynne Jones Moving Castle trilogy, all 3 of the books, and I've been meaning to reread them. I haven't read them in years, but I'm very excited to get back into them. But there are a lot of, I enjoy a lot of reading, so I get a lot of ebooks and stuff that I get as free bonuses. I pick them up when they're free and then pop them onto my e-reader, and it's almost a roulette when I go and pick one up and searching for something to read, and it's kind of a surprise to see what I find. So, I'm an affable reader, I think. Do you play any musical instruments? I have. Back in school, I was a flute player. I still have my flute. I pick it up upon occasion, and I enjoy it. But I'm certainly rusty. I learned a little bit of piano, and I still know the basics, but I never got super good at it. I was really good. Okay, I shouldn't say really good. I was okay, as long as my hands were following the same rhythm. but when my hands started to have to do two different things at two different times, that's where I started to get less good at piano. And so I petered out. But I'm primarily a singer. I'm actually a classically trained operatic soprano. I'm, again, a little rusty now, but I sing a lot for fun. I've performed with a lot of choirs. I've done a lot of musicals. I've done a lot of solo singing. And it's something I love to do. I love to sing, and I've done a lot of performances in my life. I'd like to find my way back into a choir or something like that. It's been a while since I've had a chance to perform, and it's something I miss. It's a really special thing to get to do that I enjoy a lot. Favorite subject at school? Ooh, that's a good one. I loved the sciences. I really loved the sciences all through high school and into a bit of college. I thought I was going to be like a hard sciences person. Biology was really what I loved. I liked biology. I did some forensics. Those classes were always some of my favorites. I love learning about the way that the body works, that animals work, that all of that kind of stuff. I'm a big animal person, so that was always what I liked learning about. I liked English a lot too. I like stories. I like reading. I love the theater, so getting to read plays and stuff was my favorite. I was not a big fan of math or history. Those were not my strong suit. Not my strong suit, but I loved my art classes too. In college, I took a ton of theater classes once that was considered academic and not just an extracurricular. I did a lot of theater. It was always a running joke. I wasn't a theater major, but I had enough credits for it, but they wouldn't let me double major. At the time I was there, they didn't let you do theater double majors. And so I got a theater minor, even though I had all the credits for a major. What first got you into ASMR? I am, like I think a lot of people who listen to ASMR are, very bad at falling asleep. I am somebody who finds my mind racing a lot, and it's very easy for me when I'm sitting, laying there trying to fall asleep, for my mind to race, for me to think about all the things that are stressing me out, or even to come up with, fictional situations that I'm imagining that I ruminate on, and it is not a good way to fall asleep, and I'm also slow to fall asleep. So the two feed into each other, and in an unpleasant way. So I think before I really started listening to ASMR, I would usually have background noise on when I was trying to fall asleep. And some people can fall asleep with the TV on, but I would always get too interested. My problem is I can never fall asleep if there's a show on or a story on, because I want to know what's going to happen. But for a while, I started falling asleep with Bob Ross on in the background, doing his paintings. And I would still be tempted, like I would have a sleep mask on or something, and be tempted when the painting was almost done to pop it off for a second so I could see the final product. But for the most part, he described what he was doing. It was calm, it was peaceful, soft-spoken, gentle sounds. He has such a gentle voice and didn't really require a lot of attention, so it was a good balance of things that were not too exciting to keep me awake, but soothing enough and had enough of a trajectory to keep me focused and not let my mind spin out onto anything else. So from there, it was a pretty natural step into listening to ASMR that filled the same niche. Although it's very funny, like I was saying, I can't listen to anything too interesting. There are some ASMR artists who make videos that I think are just too good, too interesting, that I can't listen to them when I'm falling asleep, because I will stay awake to see what happens. So I have some ASMR artists that I will watch as I get ready for bed, like while I do my evening skincare or something. I'll pop on a video and watch, because the artistic production value is so high that I need to see what happens. And then other ASMR artists are just other videos from the same ones that I will actually fall asleep to. cozy, simpler videos that I don't need to focus on as much and I don't feel like I need to stay awake for. So, different genres. And actually, the next question is, what ASMR channels do you watch? I watch a lot of different ASMR channels, and I love finding new channels to watch. I would love to do a full video, or maybe, I don't know, maybe something on Instagram stories or something with some highlights. I'll have to put together a list of ASMR artists, but there are a lot I really enjoy. Goodnight Moon is one of the ones that she really makes those videos that are so beautiful that sometimes I just don't want to fall asleep. Some of the more involved role plays that she does, set up in those fantasy universes, I just think are so extraordinary. I'm transfixed looking at the setting she puts together, but on the flip side, those kinds of videos where it's just triggers or soft-spoken kind of content that's less of a story is perfect to fall asleep to in my mind. That, I think, is cozy, is lovely. China Unique, I love her lip gloss videos specifically. I want to do a lip gloss video soon because I love the sounds of lip gloss. Those lip gloss videos I think are lovely. And she does such a good job with it. And I'm somebody with a big lip gloss collection. I have a lot of lip products. A lot of makeup, but lip products especially. So I think that could be a fun one to do. I'm trying to think. My problem is I know a lot of ASMR channels, but I always forget their names off the top of my head. Whispering Willow I enjoy a lot. And there are a lot of smaller creators as well that I enjoy stumbling into and finding fun videos. There are just so many creative people around there. In the space, it's just, there's so much I love to see. Actually, my latest thing that I've been binging a lot of ASMR videos of is people's crumble cookies reviews. I think it's Lunch with Lauren that does some of them that just, they crack me up every time. And I love seeing all the different cookie flavors. It is just, I look forward to every weekly video. It delights me. But those are a couple off the top of my head. There are dozens of amazing channels that I love, and I'm sure I'll have to mention more recommendations in future videos. Maybe put together some highlights on my channel because there are so many amazing channels that I would love to talk about. Switching things up. Did you get your wisdom teeth removed? And if so, any funny stories? And was it fast to fall asleep in the gentle chair? Were you scared? I did get my wisdom teeth out. I had to get them out back in high school. And they were, my wisdom teeth tried to grow in sideways. Tried to grow in straight towards my other teeth, which was a no-go. A real no-go. So we had to take those out. And I was worried because some other people in my family had really bad experiences getting their wisdom teeth out, so I was a little stressed out about it. I'd also never been under anesthesia before. I think that's actually still the only time I've ever been under anesthesia. It was one time to get my wisdom teeth out. And so, I wasn't terrified or anything. I trusted the process, but I was a little nervous going into it. And so they sat me down in the chair, and I remember, basically they sat me down, they hooked me up to the anesthetic. There was a very nice nurse who just, was walking around. She was like, oh, when's the last time you went to the beach? That was the question she asked. And all I remember is getting through, well, let me think, and I did not remember another thing until several hours later. I was gone. I was gone so fast. I still can't believe it just zonked me out. But the whole experience was fine. Getting them out was fine. What I thought was very funny, a lot of the time you'll see online the videos of people saying funny stuff when they wake up from the anesthesia or something. I was not very funny. I didn't say anything funny. I was just really annoying. I was so annoying. My poor mother was there. She took me to the procedure and was there, waiting for me afterwards to take me home. I complained about everything nonstop. I complained about the gauze in my mouth. I complained about them putting me in a wheelchair to take me out to the parking lot. I complained about everything start to finish. So, I was not fun under anesthesia. I was a pain in the butt. My apologies to my mom. She deserved better. Patient woman. It was, not my finest moment. Not at all. What are your favorite movies? So, I have a lot of, childhood favorite movies that I have a soft spot for still. It's funny, one of my, comfort movies that I return to a lot is The Swan Princess. That was one that I watched a ton as a kid. And I kind of rediscovered as an adult. I hadn't seen it in easily a decade. And I suddenly had this, burst of memory of, wow, remember that movie I used to watch way back when? And so I bought The Swan Princess again, added it to my streaming library, and I had to buy it because it wasn't on any streaming services I had, so I bought the movie. And that first summer when I bought it, I watched it probably 5 times. Anytime I'm sad or I just need something on in the background, it's the perfect thing to pop on. And I still think it has one of the most iconic lines in animated movies to me, because it's based around a romance where, this prince and princess who are meant to get together, who have been destined to be together since they were kids. Their families are trying to set them up, all of this stuff. They're supposed to unite the kingdoms, whatever. Everything's going really well. They're all set to get engaged. And the guy, Prince Derek, is describing all that's, what's great about Princess Odette and why he's excited to marry her. And he basically says, because she's so beautiful. And she looks at him and she's like, okay, I'm beautiful, but what else? Because she wants to be known for more than just her beauty. And that man, the absolute fool, looks at her and says, what else is there? And at that moment, you can see they're in a ballroom full of people. The whole place goes silent. You could hear a pin drop. It is the moment everything goes wrong. And essentially, they spend the rest of the movie, he spends the rest of the movie learning what's actually great about her. And after splitting up and having this terrible moment, they learn all of the wonderful things about each other, and it turns into a lovely romance with fun adventure and fun animated exploits and stuff. But that moment is burned in my brain forever, forever, forever. That is one of the most iconic moments in any movie. Not just an animated movie, but any movie to me. I also mentioned Howl's Moving Castle in my favorite books. It is also, hands down, all-time favorite movie. It has the rare achievement for me of having a movie that is incredibly different from its book source material, but still fantastic. I am somebody who's a stickler for details. I usually get really annoyed when a movie is really different than the book it was based on. I spend the whole time sitting there, I'm like, this is different, this is different, this is different. It has to be a spectacularly good movie in my mind for me to accept it being really different and still think it's good, and this is a movie that does that. I swear the characters are different people, but I love the ones in the movie, I love the ones in the book. I think they are both exceptional stories. It is such a beautiful movie to watch. Just the visuals, I can put it on in the background on mute and just look at how beautiful the scenery is. Absolutely delights me. I also have a lot of horror movies that I like. I used to run a horror movie podcast with a friend of mine, and I ended up watching a lot of horror movies for the podcast specifically. and found some that I really loved. Usually the ones that are a little quirky and offbeat are my favorites. I think the one that I always remember as a standout was House or Hausu. If you go for like the kind of Japanese pronunciation of it. Bizarre movie. Truly bizarre. It feels like an acid trip of a movie. And to me, that makes it perfect. That makes it exciting. That makes it eventful. You never know what's coming next. I think I want to say from around the 70s. And so it has this retro appeal and sensibility and filmography. The visuals are wild. It includes also a cat. And I love a cat in a horror movie, a powerful, magical cat that does mysterious things. I genuinely think it's a movie that's good to go into while knowing as little about it as possible. And it will surprise you the whole time. But a true oddity of a film, and for that I enjoyed it very much. Very, very much. Let's see. Oh, okay. What are your goals for your YouTube channel? Honestly, just to have fun. I started this kind of as on a whim. Actually, I'll tell you about how I started the channel a little bit later, because that's in the questions as well, I know. But so I started it kind of on a whim as a bit from something else. But I genuinely really love it. I love ASMR content so much, and I've always thought that the process would be so much fun to do, that I'm glad I kind of took the plunge and turned it into more than a one-off video and kept going and kept having fun with it. And, if it turns into something, if, subscribers show up, if it gets to the point where it's monetized and all of that stuff, that's fantastic. That's a bonus. Don't get me wrong, I am always happy to make some money off a hobby. The economy sucks, your girl's broke, but it's mostly just, it's really fun. It's a different way to be creative. I am somebody who I like doing entertainment, I like doing creative endeavors, I like trying new things, dabbling in new hobbies, and this is a way, I think, to get to play with a lot of that, and also get to connect with people. And for me, a good day is when I get to make a difference in somebody else's day. If I get to amuse somebody or help somebody calm down or feel better, that always makes me happy. So trying to create a space that can be soothing and relaxing for other people, I think, is really satisfying for me. So, mostly my goals are to have fun. My goals are to have fun, and hopefully some people hang out and listen and watch along the way. Speaking of, what is your dream job? I just kind of mentioned this. I love being creative. I love anything I get to do where I get to be creative. And I do it a lot, because I've done a lot of acting, I've been a makeup artist, I do a lot of arts and crafts hobbies, I've been an actor, I've been a singer, I've been a director, I have done costuming, I've done, a lot of different kinds of performances. In my day job, I'm a writer. I do copywriting for different clients, as well as, social media strategy and stuff like that. But it's fun for me to get to, even, if I'm not writing a wild fun fiction or something, I'm writing usually blog posts or social media for different companies, but it's fun because I still get to turn it into a bit of a creative project. But basically, anything where I get to be creative and make media that other people can enjoy and connect to people through art makes me happy. Being an artist would be amazing. Doing content creation would be amazing. I would love to do more writing for my own enjoyment. I would love to write a full book. I have, tons of ideas for stuff like that. And I think that would be really fun. But basically, as long as I'm getting to do something creative, something artistic, and I'm allowed to have variety, I'm not pinned down to any one thing too much, that's the real dream, I think. realist dream is not to work. I do not dream of labor. But with that being said, kind of the goals then are to do the things I like to do for fun and get paid for doing them anyway. Let's see, favorite foods. I love pretty much all food. I am a vegetarian, so meat's out, but aside from that, I love pretty much all food. I'm just excited about good food. I love eggs. I cook eggs in every single way you can make eggs. I love fruit. I have never met a fruit I didn't like. I think my favorites, I love mango, I love guava, I love any summer fruits, actually. Right now I'm wearing a peach perfume that I love. It's Dirty Peach by Heretic Parfum, and it is so nice. I love it. I love to eat fruit. I love to smell like fruit. I love desserts. I like to do a lot of baking, and anything sweet is a go-to, but I also like salty, savory snacks too. I think like probably my go-to most steady kind of snack or meal anytime I'm like, I don't know what to eat, I just make nachos. I can always make nachos. If I'm feeling lazy, then it's just tortilla chips and sour cream and salsa. Perfect snack, 10 out of 10, chef's kiss. But if I'm making a meal out of it, turn it into nachos, just stick those under the broiler in the toaster oven with some cheese on top. And I am a great extra sharp cheddar on top girly. Queso's okay, but I want like fresh melted cheese that's super flavorful. But they're a perfect vessel. You can put anything on there. You can do traditional, I like, sour cream, salsa, avocado, or guacamole or something. Sometimes I like to get funky with it. One of my favorite things to do is to do kimchi on nachos. Unorthodox fusion, but I think it is delicious. Kimchi and extra sharp cheddar on a crisp tortilla chip is really delicious. And when I'm cooking like meals, I tend to like a lot of Asian food, Asian flavors. That's always one of my favorite directions to go in. I love udon, like a big, thick, chewy noodle. It's one of my favorite things. So I like doing an udon stir fry kind of thing. Ooh, so delightful. When we're talking about beverages, as you might have guessed, I'm a big tea person. I have multiple cups of tea every day. I love tea. love tea. I have a large tea collection, and I am constantly trying to stop myself from buying more tea because I love tea so much. My favorite tea house of the moment is Friday Afternoon Teas, and you might have seen them on TikTok or on Instagram or something. It's a really interesting tea house, and I love the head blend master there. She has synesthesia, where she not only associates certain things with colors or something, she also associates them with flavors. So a lot of her tea blends are inspired by, she does pop culture teas, so inspired by different characters from media and stuff, but her synesthesia gives her flavor associations for all of those things. So I've had teas from a lot of different places. Sorry, I'm looking away because I have teas next to me off to the side. I have a nice herbal tea from them. I think it's Mrs. Bennett's Nerve Tonic. That's inspired by Pride and Prejudice. Lizzie Bennett's mom, with her nervous disposition, they made a tea, a nice soothing herbal tea inspired by that. Right now, the one I'm drinking is also from them. It's not a character inspired one, but it's a peach oolong with rose hips in there, and it's so nice. Really cozy and warm and well-rounded. Another sip. I always like to keep tea at my desk while I'm working, or doing anything really. I go through so many cups. I keep a little hot plate right here on my desk, so instead of having a coaster, it's like a little tiny hot plate that I keep my tea mug on so my tea stays warm. I have a tea kettle right next to my desk, so I can always have tea on tap, as it were. I can never go wrong with a cup of tea. music do you like? I like a lot of different music. I'm somebody like, I just love music for music's sake. There's very little music you can put on that I won't find a way to enjoy. But so it's very diverse tastes, and I also perform different music than I like to listen to. Like, my specialty when I was doing a lot more singing was light operetta. Light operetta was really where my voice shines, but when it comes to listening to music, I like a lot of different stuff. Big in my Chapel Brown era. Love that girl. Love that girl. I also agree that it is a brat summer when I when I need to like have some high energy to wake up to, when I'm trying to like hop in a morning shower and get jazzed up or something. Brat has been my go-to right now. But I also love something a bit more dramatic and slow-paced. I am so pleased. Just a couple of weeks ago I went to a Hosier concert, and it was a dream. He is one of my favorite artists. He's somebody who I think is so intelligent in the way he makes music that is so beautiful and well-structured. He is so smart about the way he composes music, about the musical references he makes that are such smart nods to other genres. Really combines a lot of the most beautiful parts of different genres of music, from protest music and traditional like protest songs with really symphonic kind of orchestration, with like really classic kind of church choir harmonies in a way that is just spectacular. And he's such a brilliant lyricist. In the same way he pulls musical genres for the composition, the sources for his lyrics are so incredible. The way he fuses Greek myth and traditional legends and folklore with really contemporary contexts is so lovely. And the concert, incredible. He sounds honestly just like he's doing a studio recording, but in the best way. Like, he is every bit as talented performing live as you would think he is based on a recording, and also incredibly validating as a fan to be there and to hear him speak. He's somebody who seems lovely in every interview and stuff you ever see. So lovely in person. So lovely in person. Gave some really beautiful speeches about kind of the need for unity and the way we can stand together and affect change in society. He also spoke with such kindness and thankfulness about the tour, the people who listened to him, the people he worked with, and I loved as somebody who's done a lot of behind the scenes work. Like, I've been on stage and been a performer a lot, but I've also done a lot of support work. I've been a tech person for theater, for concerts and stuff. I've been the person working the lights, working the soundboard. At the end of the concert, he took the time to recognize every single person on his crew by name, from the people on stage, the other musicians, backing band, to the people running the lights, the people running the sounds, the tour managers. Took the time to recognize them by name, to talk about what they've contributed to the tour, and thank them so sincerely. And that, I think, to me is such a lovely thing, to be really recognizing how many people it goes into making art and to supporting art. And this is a bit of a tangent, but hey, I work in tangents. That's what I do. So, love his music. Love him as an artist. Let's see. Do you play any sports? Short answer, no. And this leads into another question, which is, what's something you're really bad at? I have the worst hand-eye coordination, physical coordination, all of the above. I routinely walk into door frames. I am very small. I've barely made it over 5 feet. I'm 5'1", and I do not know where my body starts and ends. I will just careen into a door frame, into a wall. I cannot catch. I cannot throw. I was not destined to be good at any sport. Gym class, my nemesis. The only sport I was ever good at was dodgeball, because I was really good at dodging. But then what would happen is that I would be the only one left on my team with an entire other team of middle schoolers trying to throw a ball at me, and I couldn't throw a ball back. So it was my personal hell. But that's okay. You can't be good at everything, and I accepted early on that sports were not for me. Simply not for me. And that's okay. I never liked them too much anyway. However, I am disinterested in sports most of the time until the Olympics. And right now, when I'm recording, we are at the tail end of the Olympics. I love the Olympics so much. It's that time of year where I rally, and I am suddenly very invested in sports. But I think it's very fun because not only do I get to watch the sports like I know and I like I think it's so much fun to watch like synchronized swimming and gymnastics and these really beautiful performances. But I feel like every year I find a fun new sport that I didn't know a lot about, and I suddenly realize how much fun it is to watch. Like a couple Olympics back, I think it was actually when they introduced skateboarding into the Olympics for the first time, I got hooked. And now I cannot stop. I am so excited to watch every time they do skateboarding at the Olympics. I love it. Started following all the skateboarders on Instagram. I think it is so much fun to watch. The one this year that was my curveball that I got so into was the canoe and kayak slaloms. Absolutely wild. They just absolutely power these kayaks through simulated whitewater rapids, and it's so exciting. So much fun. Really fun. I would love to know, if you are an Olympics viewer, what your favorite sports are to watch, because, gosh, I could talk about them for ages. Don't get me started on dressage. Watching those horses trot around, a delightful time. Let's see. What do you look for when finding new friends? That's a really interesting one. I'm somebody who is largely solitary. I like my alone time, so I don't usually seek new friends a lot. But when I find them, it's typically I find friends through activities. I'm somebody that's big on activities, so like I have a lot of friends from theater who are my theater friends that I do plays with, and that's, you know, how we knew each other and how we spend time together. And then for friends, I also love having game groups. I'm a big game night enjoyer, so I find a lot of people who want to play games with me, then that's the perfect way to hang out. So like back in college, there was an event they would do at my school where basically every week on the party nights of the week, on like Fridays and Saturdays, when they knew college kids would be going out and probably getting a little drunk, they would open the dining hall late at night for late night snacks from like, I think 10 p.m. until almost 2 in the morning. And as a night owl myself, I loved this. I didn't do much partying at all, but I loved going somewhere where I could hang out for late night snacks. So I would go check in at 10 p.m. almost on the dot, and I would set up in a table, big table in the back, and just bring a whole bunch of card games with me. And I would have all of my friends who would filter in and out throughout the night as they came and went, would stop by and play a couple rounds of a game with me. And that, to me, perfect social setup. The ideal way to get to socialize with a lot of people. You get to have dependable people who show up every time, who like the same kind of thing you do. Some people flit in and out, bring new friends. Some tree just dropped a branch outside. That was loud. But you get to meet new people as people bring friends. And I do miss that, but now I get to find new ways to do that. I'm excited. I just started a few weeks ago. I started playing Pathfinder with a new group that I'm really enjoying, and it's fun getting to know them. So rallying around activities is, I think, my go-to way to find people that I connect to, because that way you know there's going to be something you want to do with them. You start with something in common, and that helps to keep you together, I think. What TV shows have you been watching recently? I am terrible at watching TV. I love background noise. I always have background background noise going on. So I'm somebody who will put on the same shows I've watched 100 times to have on as background noise, so I don't have to pay too much attention. But I'm bad at committing to watching new shows. So my rewatch shows, my go-to is Midsummer Murders. I love kind of cozy vibes, large, mostly British TV shows, like murder mystery TV shows. That's my go-to genre. So Midsummer Murders, well over 100 episodes. I think there are 24 seasons of the show. It's been going for years. I've watched every single season multiple times. Every episode, probably a dozen times. I love that show. I just started rewatching Vera, which is another, UK mystery series. The Brokenwood Mysteries is another one that I love. I've finished the whole series, and I think that's going to become a steady rewatch for me. That's a New Zealand mystery, I think. That one I like a lot. Ooh, I also love Psych. That one's, American comedy mystery. But that one I've watched again like a dozen times or more. Always makes me laugh. But for new shows, let me think. I started watching Fallout a little while ago, and I'm still working my way through that. That I think is very fun. It's really fun. Like I haven't played Fallout myself, but I've seen a lot of other people play Fallout, and I love the aesthetics and the world building in that. And I think they translated it really beautifully and really faithfully into a really fun universe. And I've been enjoying seeing that. I started watching, it's not a new show anymore, but The Fall of the House of Usher. My last video actually was reading Poe poems, Poe short stories, inspired by starting The Fall of the House of Usher. I've enjoyed that. Ooh. I also have been working my way through a bunch of the different renditions of Love is Blind lately. I've been working my way through the backlog of American ones. I just finished the main events of Series 3, Season 3. I still have to watch the reunion and the Where Are They Now stuff, but I watched the main season, and boy, that one was messy. But I've also been watching some of the international versions with my family. My mom and my sister and I watched together. We watched Sweden together. We're in the middle of Brazil and Japan. And I just watched the first episode of Mexico, of Love is Blind Mexico, a couple days ago. I think that one will be fun. I have heard that the UK one that just dropped is very messy, but very entertaining. So I'm excited to watch that one. And another one of my guilty pleasure shows is I don't catch every season, but when I can, I like to watch as it comes out, The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. So I've been very much enjoying this season of The Bachelorette. I've been pleasantly surprised. For anyone who watches, if you watched the last season of The Bachelor, you'd know the current Bachelorette, Jen, is kind of a curveball pick. She was not who I think anybody really expected to be the next Bachelorette. And she didn't have a huge role in the last season, so I wasn't skeptical. Like, I'm sure everybody they put on there is going to have a decent enough personality. But I didn't quite know what to expect, and I've been pleasantly surprised by her as the Bachelorette, and I've been having fun with that season. It has also been messy. They've been focusing on the drama, but I like a lot of the people in the season, and I think it's sweet. If you are a Bachelorette viewer, please tell me all your hot thoughts on the season, because I love to talk about it. And also, it's not TV exactly, but I finally got around to getting a Dropout subscription a little while ago, and I have been loving working my way through a lot of the archives of their shows. I've watched clips online for so long, and it's been really fun getting into the full series. So I finally just started watching the very first season of Dimension 20, which has been amazing. I've been having so much fun with that. That is like the perfect long episode kind of thing to put on, like while I'm painting my nails or doing a project or doing my skincare, to have on in the background. And just, they have such wonderful performers and entertainers who have such great dynamics between them. It's really spectacular to watch. Let's is your biggest achievement so far in life? That's a big question. I think I'll reinterpret it slightly. Like, I think there are, big life achievements. Also, before I jump into that, the rain has gotten so hard outside. I think you'll probably be able to hear it on the recording now. It is torrential out there. I have a skylight kind of over my desk. It is so nice. I get it, getting to see the rain fall. The sun's just come up over the horizon, so it's very pretty. All the rain on the glass. It's lovely vibes. I hope it soothes you. But there are, a lot of big, more vague achievements, but one of the things that I'm happiest I did that feels like an achievement because it was a big stretch for me. Like, I had to work really hard to make it happen. And it was very far out there from anything else I'd ever done. But back in college, I designed a whole independent study class and somehow managed to make it work within my anthropology major to go fly all the way to Australia. And I'm in Maine. I'm in New England. So it was literally the opposite side of the globe. Went to Australia to go out into the Australian rainforest and work at a bat hospital for a little over a month. I lived there and I worked there and I was interviewing the staff and doing, anthropological surveys. But day to day, I worked at a flying fox hospital. We had 100 plus flying foxes that they were rehabilitating, and some microbats as well. They were so sweet. It is hands down one of the best things I've ever done in my life. I hope I'll get to go back one day. So satisfying to get to do something where just every day you wake up, you take care of things, you feel like you make a tangible difference, like all these little creatures are depending on you. And I got to go out and do animal rescues in the field and take care of the animals at the hospital and go out and take care of the bats at their release cages that they were preparing to release back into the wild, especially babies who grew up in captivity and have to learn wild skills. They would go out to kind of to their forest locations where they could learn from the local bats, the more wild bats, how to be a bat. Genuinely, really one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done. The furthest I had ever traveled, and I was doing it all alone because I had, traveled with friends and family before on much shorter trips, but never done anything like that. And I was really proud of myself for putting myself out there, for doing something that was so different for me, and it turned out to be one of the best experiences I've ever had, and has made me a lot bolder and braver, I think, to take more risks and do more stuff that feels big, More tea. My throat's getting tired. It's so tasty. I should have known this would be a long video. I'm too good at yapping. Too good at just going on and on, but I hope you're enjoying it. It's funny, the next question is also wildlife themed, but very different. What do you think is the safest way for animal control to catch a big bear on the loose in the neighborhood? This one is funny to me because, like I said, I live in Maine. I live out in the woods, so I see bears very routinely. I see bears pretty often. They're actually a bit of a problem because they like to come steal my bird feeder if I leave it out at night. So when I walk my dog for his last walk every night, I have to make sure to go bring in the bird feeder so that the bear does not come and try to steal it overnight to eat all those tasty, tasty bird seeds. But I'm in an environment where, aside from that, bears aren't too much of a problem. We have black bears who are generally pretty low-key as far as bears go. They're more interested in avoiding people than anything else, so I've had to go outside and yell at bears from my porch to go clear off and get out of my backyard. Because as cute as they are, I do not want them eating my bird feeders. But they are very charming animals. But with that being said, if you need to get rid of a bear, the fun answer is to lure them with snacks. You can pretty much always get a bear to go somewhere else with a really good snack. However, that is not responsible. You should not feed wildlife, especially large carnivorous wildlife that can cause problems. So the responsible answer if you need to move a bear is you use a tranquilizer dart and then you move the bear. But that's less fun. Who are your favorite YouTubers? Man, there are, again, a lot. Like I said, I'm bad at watching TV. I'm very good at popping on a YouTube video. I love YouTube videos for everything. There are a lot of the OGs, the classics, like the dependable favorites, like Danny Gonzalez, Curtis Connor, Drew Gooden, who are just good time, feel-good YouTubers. I have the nostalgia for the days of Jenna Marbles, and I still enjoy watching Julian's cooking videos. I love a video essay. I would love to make some of my own someday, because I think they're so much fun, and I love the whole research project and stuff, but I am always down to put on a good video essay. I love D'Angelo Wallace. His work is incredible. I love any wildlife kind of channel that focuses on biology and animal facts kind of stuff. I love videos on the fashion industry and any kind of pop culture thing. Those always tickle my fancy. They are perfect to get, a 20-minute or a 40-minute or something deep dive into a subject I might not have known a lot about before. Those really delight me. Gabby Bell I've been enjoying a lot. I think she hits a really nice sweet spot between some of those commentary video style ones and some of her own fun stuff, and she does such great original music for stuff too. I think she's a delight. Let me think, who else do I watch a lot of? They're also OGs, like Game Grumps. I haven't watched a bit in a while, but I used to watch so much Game Grumps content. I like a gaming channel, I do. Also, shoutouts to all the YouTubers who make music compilation playlists. You are a delight. The people who put together playlists are great. The people who make original music. Louis Zong lives deep in my heart. That man is brilliant. Can make delightful music about anything. Also makes it DMCA free, delightful music that you can use on streams and other stuff. Does incredible animations. Is a funny guy. There are so many great comedy musicians specifically too on YouTube, like Tom Cardy, Jazzy Mew. They're so funny, so good, so delightful. Trying to think any other quick shout-outs. I'm sure I'll think of more. Those can come back in another video. The fun thing is, if I ever do another Q&A, I'd probably answer half of these questions again and just have new favorites to talk about. And besides, I don't need to spend longer on any questions. I think we're already at the hour mark of me recording. I thought this would be a quick 20-minute record. I'm a fool. When I get to do trigger videos, they're fast. When I just start talking, they're forever long. I am a gifted yapper. Favorite clothing stores. I love a little indie designer. Right now, the tank top I'm wearing and has some matching shorts. Has these cute little flowers on it. It's a knit top with white flowers on it. These big kind of pop designs. This is from Carmico. I love her designs. I'll link her in the description. I love her designs. She does the most fun, bold, graphic kind of designs. I like her a lot. Knock Thrice started her designs as an embroidery person, hand embroidering hats and stuff like that, and has translated her designs into the most gorgeous first cardigans, but has expanded into full clothing and accessory collections that have these real, like, cozy, cottagecore, fantasy-inspired kind of designs that I love. Her collection of night cardigans, these cozy cardigans with big embroidered, like, knight's pauldrons on them. Iconic, fantastic, delightful. I own, like, 4 of them. I love them so much. She does pop culture inspired collections. She had her Over the Garden Wall collections. Incredible. I put in a big pre-order for her Over the Garden Wall collection. I'm very excited about it. Very excited for those to come in. Yeah, I like a little indie clothing designers. Morningwitch is another one that does the most beautiful textile designs. Stunning all over prints. Meyoco, her skirts are gorgeous. A lot of cool little indie places. There's one other name that I'm trying to remember and I'm blanking on. I just looked them up the other night. Let me see, hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Because, pardon me clicking. I'm trying to click quietly. There, Meyoco. That's the name I was trying to think of. Meyoco Studios. They do such lovely designs that I really, really enjoy. I am obsessed with a shirt from their newest collection. I think it is their newest collection, their Meadow collection. It's called the Fawn Polo. It's a polo shirt. A long sleeve, cozy looking polo shirt that is dark brown on top and fades to like a light creamy beige and has little dappled white spots on top, so it looks just like the back of a baby deer. And it is the cutest shirt I've ever seen. I need to get it. I am desperate for it. I think it's so adorable. Let's see. Oh, I also get a lot of basics, like my staple activewear stuff. Pop Flex. I love their leggings. I love their activewear. Tank tops and stuff. Love that. And then for a lot of like my basic essentials, I go to Parade. They started with underwear, and they still do my favorite underwear and bralettes. And it's really hard to find bralettes. It's like somebody with a large bust size, small band size, and I'm wearing one of theirs right now. I love them. They're so comfy. And they have an expanded size range that caters to specifically large band, small band size, large bust size, which is a dream. And then they expanded into clothing. Some of my basic, like staple, everyday go-to slip dresses and stuff are from them, and all sorts of fun clothing, cozy PJs, and also obligatory plug if you do use my code Existential Crisis, which is my username pretty much everywhere except here. Existential Crisis at checkout, you get 30% off. But this is not just a plug, I genuinely, I wear Parade stuff every single day, and I love it, truly, madly, deeply. They do everything in recycled textiles, which I love, and it's just, they do fun colors, fun patterns. Anyway, I will stop plugging them, but I do really love their clothing. Let's see. Ooh, sorry, bumped my desk a little there. Do you have any tattoos or want any? I don't have any tattoos right now, but I love tattoos. I love tattoos. I think they are so beautiful. I would love to get tattoos. There are a couple of reasons I haven't. Firstly, expensive. Secondly, I am very picky about tattoo art. I'm very picky about the artists I would want to tattoo on me, so I would love to get tattooed, but a lot of the artists that I think I would want to get work done by, I would have to travel to do so. And so it's not just the cost of the tattoo, it's the cost of, flying out to California, or to South Korea, or to Europe, to go stay somewhere and travel and then get tattooed, so it's an investment. I love a lot of different art styles, to be clear. I love, traditional tattoos and stuff I think are great on other people. I tend to like a more detailed kind of painterly style, and it's pretty pretty specific, and so I have very particular artists who I would want to work with, and that makes it difficult. But God, I love seeing every kind of tattoo art on other people. Like, I love looking at other people's tattoos so much. Tattoo tours are so fun. I love getting to look at people who are heavily tattooed. It's like an art museum on your body, and I love art. I cannot stop buying art. I buy so much visual art. I think it's astonishing, and so getting to like have that on you is the dream. If you're talking about like heavily tattooed people, May Pang, Microsoft on Instagram and most social platforms is the icon, the legend, the OG, covered in tattoos and still getting more, and they are so beautiful. And she actually does, it touches on my other quirk with tattoos, is that I am obsessed with symmetry. I need everything I do to be symmetrical. Like, when I get my ears pierced, I get the exact same piercing on both sides. I can't have them be asymmetrical. And similarly with tattoos, I think it would drive me bonkers if I didn't have symmetrical tattoos. So I think I would need to get things that are either like down the center plane of my body, or get identical or matching things on both sides. So like something here, or same thing on both hands or whatever, so that I felt balanced, or else it would drive me nuts. And May does that. So almost all of her tattoos are reflected on either side of her body, and that is so stunning. That to me was like groundbreaking, me being like, oh wait, I could get a tattoo if I just mirrored it. Like, that's so smart. That's so smart. I think it's delightful, and, fixes my big, like, initial roadblock in getting a tattoo of just invert it, make it symmetrical. And then I think I would really love it. But I still have no tattoos. For a while I thought I wouldn't get them because like I said, I've done a lot of acting. I'd like my look to be pretty versatile. And I like to be able to change it up. I have a lot of different aesthetics that I enjoy dressing and styling. So like I change out my jewelry, I change out my clothing a lot. It's just like from day to day, I can have very different vibes in my style. So I always thought a tattoo might limit me, but I don't think so anymore. Now I think I'm more flexible. I think I would enjoy it, and I don't care as much. But I suspect that once I finally take the plunge, if I do and get a tattoo, I think I'll be like a 0 to 100 person, where I will go from having no tattoos to like getting a giant one, or getting like 12 like, immediately. I'm very much like a 0 or 100 kind of person, where I either do not care or I am all in on something, and I think it would work that way with tattoos. Do you play any video games? Yes, a lot of them. I love video games. I play a lot of games. I have for many years. It is one of my favorite hobbies and pastimes. The two genres I probably play the most are cozy life sim kind of games. So like an Animal Crossing, a Stardew Valley. Boy howdy, I've played a lot of Stardew Valley. I've played a lot of Stardew Valley. I just started a new farm, and I am having the time of my life. It's so nice to come back to that. And so I play a lot of those kinds of games, and then I play a lot of big story-driven role-playing games, like big epic saga kind of stories, but where you get to really affect the plot and make decisions. So BioWare is big for that. I love Dragon Age. I love Mass Effect. I finally just started playing Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time. I had been putting it off for months, like waiting to have the time for it, and I am obsessed, over the moon, deeply into it, having the time of my life, truly. I love it so much, I'm already planning like 12 more playthroughs, mostly so that I can romance everybody in the game. That's very important. I just gotta smooch everyone. And I love a visual novel. I love a choose-your-own-adventure kind of thing. All of that is very fun. And this segues into the next question, which was, what made you start your YouTube channel? It is because I have a Twitch channel. I like I said before, Existential Crisis is my username there and everywhere else. I started that almost a year ago now. Actually, end of August will be my first anniversary of starting the Twitch channel, which I loved. I've had a lot of friends who are Twitch streamers, followed a lot of streamers over the years, and I had always wanted to do it. I was like, that seems like so much fun. Like I said, I'm somebody who I love being a performer, I love being an entertainer, and I love getting to turn my hobbies into, you know, something bigger. So that always seemed like a perfect fusion of the two things to do. But I put it off for years until, you know, I had the right technology, until I had the time, until I had the space, and finally I just stopped putting it off and started. And I've been having so much fun with it. But there is a bit that I do on my Twitch channel where, you know, when you cash in some channel points, you can get 5 minutes of what I deemed ASMR, where I have to put the microphone sensitivity way up and I have to whisper, which sometimes it's relaxing, sometimes it's funny when I'm like running around trying to fight for my life in a video game, and suddenly I have to speak softly or whisper for a few minutes. But some people really liked those segments, and so I set myself a goal at one point, you know, if we got a certain amount of subscribers or something, that I would make a full-length ASMR video. And that is how the first video got made, was me making a video as a bonus for my Twitch followers and Twitch subscribers, and that's how we got here, and I had a lot of fun with it. I was like, well, what if I make another one? And what if I make one more? And what if I make one more? So thus, ASMR was born, and hopefully I'll keep making more because I'm still having fun with it. So this is all a spin-off from my Twitch channel, where I do a lot of gaming, also a lot of yapping because I talk a lot everywhere. Do your friends know about your YouTube channel? So most of my online friends do because of Twitch. So my whole community and all my friends over there do all know about it because it started from that, and you know, I send people over here like, if you like the 5-minute ASMR on my Twitch channel, you'll love the full-length YouTube channel. You know, that kind of thing. So that happens a lot, but in terms of real life people, like some of my family knows. I don't think, not a lot of people know. It doesn't come up a lot. I'm not shy about it, but it also is a funny thing to bring up out of the blue. Like, hey, I started a YouTube channel where I whisper at people for an hour plus. But a lot of my social circle is online anyway, so I would say that, yeah, a lot of my friends do know about it. What color socks are you currently wearing? And are they matching or odd? Right now, I'm wearing no socks because it is very warm. But when I do wear socks, my favorite socks to wear are fuzzy socks. I like cozy fuzzy socks, preferably with little cartoon characters on them. I have some Sanrio ones. I have some from Tiny Protectors that have all of their cute little different animal characters on them. I love them. They make me happy, and they're soft, and they're cozy, and they're cuddly. I don't really like having socks on, like from a textural kind of sensory perspective. They usually annoy me. So if I'm going to wear them, I want them to be as cute and as soft and as fluffy as possible. And they must always match. I love matching. My ideal is all color matching or color coordinating head to toe. So I love matching sets. I love matching socks. The matching socks will also match the outfit. This is how it must be. Biggest pet peeve. Like, I think I tend to be a pretty easygoing person, so I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what drives me up the wall is if you are in a public situation, like if you're on public transport or you're sitting in a coffee shop or you're somewhere where a lot of people are, and you know, lots of other people are around, and somebody is watching a video on their phone with no headphones. Bane of my existence. I think it is so rude. I think it is so disrespectful. Like, it's one thing if, you scroll Instagram and there's 10 seconds of audio and, like, you're like, oops, and you scroll past it. It is another thing when you watch a full movie at full volume on a bus with 30 other people there who then have to listen to the movie you are watching, or the YouTube video, or the event, whatever it is. Put headphones on. Not everybody wants to consume your media. That's like basic respect, and it drives me absolutely nuts when people don't do that. Like, if you do not have your headphones, you do not get to listen in public as far as I'm concerned. It's a big put those headphones on moment. Favorite childhood memory. I have terrible memory. I'm very bad at remembering things, especially old memories. I tend to forget things pretty quickly. So I think a lot of my memories tend to be tied to objects that I still have. And so for my 8th birthday, my mom she handmade me a stuffed animal dragon. She sewed the whole thing, and she sewed in all of these. She had these little leather samples that she used as the spines of rainbow colored little leather squares, and she hand embroidered hundreds of sequins all over the tummy, so it was all sparkly. And she came with a little scroll talking about her magical history and how she found me. And I named her Arena, and I slept with her every single night for years. She was my stuffed animal that I would cuddle up with when I went to bed. And I still have her. She still stays on my bed. I cuddle her a little less because at this point she has shed most of her sequins, and I'm trying to keep the rest on. But she sleeps at the edge of my bed, so she's there with me. And I remember I was so excited when I got her. And then she was part of so many good memories after that, and continues to be a reminder of really sweet memories and good times. So that one always hits me right at the heart, Biggest life regret so far? That's another big question. I think in the general sense, I am somebody who, kind of like I was saying from before, with the Twitch channel and other stuff like that, and in this channel, I'm somebody who, I'm anxious, and I also always want to do things to, the best of my ability. So I tend to put a lot of stuff off, and say I'll do it, when the moment's right. So, I'll say, well, I don't have the best camera, so I don't want to do a YouTube video. Or I don't have the right outfit, so I don't want to go to this event. Or I don't have, I haven't practiced the skill, so I don't want to do this performance. Or I haven't perfectly learned the language, so I don't want to travel to this other place. It's just a lot of things in my life I have put off or not done because I didn't feel like the situation was perfect. And that, I think, has led me to either not do things that I would have enjoyed, or it has led me to put off doing things I could have just been enjoying a lot earlier. I could have started my Twitch channel a lot earlier and been having fun with that for earlier times. I could have started this channel earlier, instead of putting it off so much. And just had more fun a lot sooner and less anxieties, I think, in the long run. And the final question on the list is, any big plans for the rest of 2024? And, there's some life stuff where I'm excited. My little sister is going to college for the first time. It's going to be her first year starting college, so right now I'm working on shipping her off for that and getting her all prepped, and so, I'm celebrating that for her. I'm potentially looking at moving in the near future. We'll see. That's, on the roadmap, but I'm window shopping for kind of new life trajectories and stuff like that. We'll see. We'll see if that happens in 2024 or 2025, but stuff on the horizon. But in regards to like those regrets, I think in kind of the ethos of it, like less specific but more personal goals, I'm just trying to say yes to more things and take more risks and be less afraid and put stuff off less. So make those appointments that I've been, putting off. I've done that recently. I've made some doctor's appointments that I should have made ages ago, and just like not scary appointments, just things I have been avoiding. And reaching out to more old friends, those kinds of friends that are like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. I wish that, I should check in, but that's, a pain in the butt. No, I'm just doing it. I'm reaching out, I'm saying hello. I am making more videos like this. I have some time right now on my work schedule, and it's been really fun getting to do content creation and getting to lean more into my Twitch channel and devote time to that and getting to make these kinds of videos. And like I was saying, I think it would be fun to make video essays and stuff like that. So I'm going to do it. That's one of my goals, is to, instead of thinking about it, just do it more often. Because usually I end up having fun when I do it. And if it doesn't work out, if I end up not loving it, that's fine. Then I will have tried. And I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Sometimes it's good to just try and see what happens, and probably have a good time along the way. It is now very late, and by very late I mean very early. I should have gone to sleep a while ago. Other people are waking up in the house. Hopefully you can't hear the background noise that's happening. Hopefully it's muffled by the rain and me whispering in your ears. But before it gets noisier and more people end up shuffling around, I think it's a good time for me to wrap up. Thank you, if you've stayed until the end, for staying for this very long video. I hope that you enjoyed and are relaxed and are cozy. This was very fun. I would love to do another one of these. If you have more questions, it probably won't be for a while. I'll give it a little while since we just had one, but if you have more questions that you would like to see in a future get to know you kind of video, drop them down in the comments. I might not get to them immediately, but this was fun. I'll do another Q&A, getting to know you kind of video later down the road, maybe a few months, we'll see. However long it takes to get another queue of questions put together. Who's to say? But if you have any thoughts, any questions that you would like to know the answers to, feel free to drop them down in the comments below, and I will read those and appreciate all of them, I'm sure. I will also do my best to go through and link some of the YouTube channels that I talked about and some of the clothing places that I talked about, some of my favorites that I mentioned in the video. I will put those in the description so that you can have those for reference if you would like to check any of them out. But for now, I think I am going to go wash off my makeup, do my skincare, get cozy in bed, finish my cup of tea, and fall asleep to the sound of the rain. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you are nice and relaxed and ready for sleep, or to just be cozy in your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, for spending this time with me. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day or a great night, whatever you're doing. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye, my